Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and happy Navaratri to all of you. And today I will end this series of toxic relationships that I've been doing over the past 6 episodes. And today I'm going to sum up all the signs and symptoms which make a relationship toxic. So there will be 30 points that I'll be talking about. Yes, I'll cover all of it. So if you see more than a few pointers here which is identifiable in your personal relationship, then please know it's a toxic relationship and you need to work on it to get better, to detox that part of you which wants to engage in a toxic relationship. So the point number 1 today is either or both in this relationship are takers, not givers. Now, two people want something out of each other and are willing to give very little. So that's a sign of a toxic relationship. The next one is, again, somebody who's an energy drainer, someone who's naturally draining the other of energy. So that is a toxic relationship. The third one is lack of trust. Now, if you see that the other person is constantly not able to trust you or has trust issues, then, or you have trust issues, you are just not able to trust the other with or without reasons, then it's a sign of toxicity which can be worked upon. The next one is, in a toxic relationship, usually the atmosphere is very, very hostile and you don't know when the sparks will start flying. So you're always on that tender hook. The next one is the relationship very often feels one-sided. I've spoken earlier about this video of mine only on one-sided relationships. So yes, a toxic relationship very often happens to be a one-sided one. There is constant judgment. There is constantly judging one another. Why has this person done that and why is it like this? Why are you... This question of why is always looming in this relationship. The next one is unreliability. It could be financial unreliability, it could be emotional unreliability, it could be any situational unreliability. There's a lot of unreliability amongst partners in a toxic relationship. The next one is, point number 8, is narcissists. Now, usually if there is a narcissist in a relationship, that relationship is bound to be toxic. The next one is, there are certain people who carry a lot of negative energy in them, general negativity, and that spills in a relationship. So, in that relationship, there is bound to be a lot of toxicity. The 10th point is, invariably a toxic relationship has communication issues, a lot of communication issues. So these are the first 10 points. The next ones are, point number 11 is constant disrespect of each other or disrespect of the other. Then comes avoidance of anything that is important in the relationship. What is absolutely needed is avoided tactfully by the other. So that relationship is bound to be toxic. Then a constant sense of lack of support. Control issues is a major factor. Never-ending drama. You'll see in a toxic relationship where there's constant drama happening. And as a result, there's constant draining of energy. You feel so depleted, yet you can't stop the cycle of drama. So that is our point number 15. Point number 16 is when one finds that one's constantly changing one's opinion based on how one can please the other. Eventually, one realizes that you don't have an opinion of your own because you are so busy changing it according to the likes and dislikes of the other. Yes, that's a toxic relationship. Because what happens if you look at it, this person who's constantly changing to please another is never happy. And if you are not happy prolonged in a relationship, then that relationship is toxic. The next one is constantly being challenged. constantly feeling that the other person is challenging every opinion, every action of yours, feeling a sense of unworthiness, feeling trapped. And the 20th point is feeling that all your efforts are undervalued. The reason why I am telling this point wise is this is what I have seen over my 17 years of working experience with various people who are trapped in toxic relationships. And these are all the symptoms which I'm going to talk about today further. These are all common to them. Mostly people say a yes to all of this when we go into conversation. So at this point, I want you to take a moment and think and identify if you feel any of this in important relationships of your life. And if you do identify, I would like to specify once more that don't lose hope. That's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the road. There is awareness. The moment you get aware, then you can do something about it. It works when you work at it. Okay, now the last 10 points. The 21st point is pretensions. Toxic relationships are highly pretentious in nature. They show one thing, they feel another. You often start feeling that this person lacks genuinity. There is something that this person's hiding. It's like living with someone with Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of a personality. Another very common element in a toxic relationship is an element of jealousy or envy. The other person feels jealous of you. So when a person is jealous of you in a loving relationship, it is supposedly toxic. The next one is denying your right to say no. This person does not like it when you say a no. Or it could be the other way around as well. You don't like hearing no from the other at all. The moment you hear a no, it feels like you are entirely rejected, and you start feeling so miserable that you either plot how to get back at the other person, or you go into a self-pity party. The next one is victim mode. People in toxic relationships very often remain in that victim mode. The 25th point is relationships which diminish your self-worth. 26, relationships which are laced with dishonesty. The next one is when you're constantly feeling unhappy in a relationship. It could be any relationship with a parent, relationship with a partner, relationship with a colleague, relationship with a superior at work, inferior, anybody, subordinate, anybody. When you are constantly feeling unhappy in a relationship, you need to take a stock of what is happening. The next one is when a relationship feels uncomfortable. When you are going beyond your level of comfort to make the relationship last, and you feel that it's stretching you way too much. You're feeling edgy all the time. So that is a toxic relationship. The last two, 29th point is when you constantly have to lower your standards to be in the relationship. That's a toxic relationship. And last point, number 30, is when the relationship is full of criticism. Yes, either you criticize the other, or the other criticizes you, or both criticize one another. That's a sure shot toxic relationship. So these were the comprehensive list of signs and symptoms which you can identify classically in a toxic relationship. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because we mostly in urban Indian scenarios or setup, we don't really yet start thinking of relationships as toxic. We just know that something is bothering us, and we keep silently suffering. The reason why today I'm constantly harping on these signs and symptoms of toxic relationship is for you to realize, for you to identify, for you to recognize that these are pointers which I can identify with personally, or in another in a loved one, And the moment I identify it, I know where my source of unhappiness is and what I need to do to get out of it. That's it. It's that simple. I'll see you another time with another topic. Keep watching. Thank you.